If you've ever looked at a map of Western Australia and thought, what's actually up there? This road trip is your answer. The Perth to Exmouth road trip is one of Australia's most underrated coastal drives. You'll pass red earth, turquoise reefs, remote gorges, and some of the wildest stretches of road in the country. And we're going to show you exactly how to tackle it. Whether you're planning it for the first time or just want to know where the best spots are along the way, this is your full guide to one of WA's most epic adventures. We did this trip over 2 weeks, but you can stretch it longer or condense it depending on how much time you've got. The total drive from Perth to Exmouth is about 1,250 kilometres, but it's not just about the destination. The journey is packed with bucket list stops. In this video, we'll break down our full itinerary, the exact route we took, what we wish we knew before we left, and some spots you definitely don't want to miss. Before you hit the road, there are a few things worth sorting out in Perth. Fuel up, stock up on groceries, and make sure your vehicle is good to go, because once you get north of Geraldton, roadhouses get more spaced out and prices start to climb. If you're hiring a camper or four-wheel drive, try to grab one with a fridge and decent shade coverage. You'll thank yourself later. This isn't one of those road trips where you're stopping every half hour. Some stretches are long and remote, but that's part of what makes it special. Once you're out of Perth, the landscape starts to shift pretty quickly, and day one is where the adventure begins. We kicked things off early from Perth and hit the road north toward Jurien Bay, but not without a couple of classic stops along the way. First up, Llansillen Sand Dunes. Even if you're not keen to sandboard, it's worth pulling in just to see the white dunes roll out toward the horizon. From there, we headed to the Pinnacles Desert in Nambung National Park. A super easy detour and honestly way cooler than we expected. The drive-through loop makes it quick if you're on a tight schedule, but we'd recommend jumping out and walking through some of the trails. By the afternoon, we rolled into Jurien Bay, a small coastal town with a chilled vibe and great spots for a swim. If you've got time, check out the jetty or even squeeze in a sea lion tour if you're keen to add an extra experience right at the start. From Jurien Bay, it's about a 4-hour drive north to Kalbarri, and we recommend spending 2 nights here. There's a lot to see. If you're travelling in wildflower season, roughly August to October, you can swing through Lashua National Park on the way. It's a short detour and the wildflowers are worth a quick stop if they're in bloom. A bit further up, make time for Hutt Lagoon, better known as the Pink Lake. The best colours are usually late morning to early afternoon on a clear day, and while there's no viewing platform, there's a great pull-off near the causeway where you can park and take it in. Once you arrive in Kalbarri, you've got access to one of WA's best national parks. Spend a full day in Kalbarri National Park, checking out Nature's Window, the Skywalk and Z Bend Gorge. But don't skip the coast. The Kalbarri Cliffs at sunset are next level. You can also visit Red Bluff, Pot Alley, and even do a kayak tour through the gorges if you're feeling adventurous. From Kalbarri, it's another 4-hour drive north to Shark Bay, and this is where the coastline starts to feel really remote. You'll want 2 nights here to make the most of it. First up, Shell Beach. It's made entirely of tiny white shells stretching for kilometres, and there's honestly nothing else like it. Then there's Monkey Mia, where wild dolphins come into the shallows most mornings. It's touristy, but still a pretty surreal experience. If you've got a 4-wheel drive, head into Francois Peron National Park. Red cliffs, blue water, and that classic outback meets ocean vibe. Even if you only make it to the first few lookouts, it's worth the trip. There's not much in terms of big towns here, so stock up in Denham and just enjoy the slow pace. Shark Bay is a spot that makes you appreciate the quiet. This leg is a big one, about 7 hours on the road, so start early and plan for fuel stops. The reward at the end? Some of the clearest water and best snorkeling in the country. Once you arrive in Exmouth, base yourself here for 3 nights. There's plenty to do, and you'll want time to soak it all in. Spend a day in Cape Range National Park, where red cliffs meet white beaches. Turquoise Bay is the showstopper. You can literally drift snorkel right off the beach and see coral and fish within meters. If it's the right season, roughly March to August, swimming with whale sharks is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Tours leave daily and book out fast, so plan ahead if that's on your list. You've also got Yardie Creek, Charles Knife Canyon, and even the Milliring Discovery Centre if you want to learn more about the area. Whether you're exploring, snorkeling, or just unwinding, Exmouth is a trip highlight for good reason. After 3 big days in Exmouth, we started making our way back south with a 4-hour drive to Carnarvon. This is mostly a transit day, but Carnarvon's a solid stop to break up the drive. If the tide's right, head out to the Blowholes. They're about 75 kilometres north of town and make for a cool afternoon detour. Back in town, you can grab fresh produce from one of the local plantations, especially if you're travelling during mango or banana season. If you have some extra time, check out the Speedway or the Carnarvon Space and Technology Museum. It's also a good chance to restock, refuel, and give the fridge a clean out before the long haul back to Perth. We just stayed one night here before hitting the road early the next day. The last day is a big one, around 9 hours on the road, so it's worth getting an early start. There aren't a lot of major stops on this stretch, but if you didn't catch the Pinnacles or Lancelin on the way out, you could easily detour back through them now. Otherwise, this part of the trip is all about winding down, reflecting, and realising just how much ground you've covered. From coral reefs and gorges to pink lakes and red cliffs, the Perth to Exmouth road trip is hands down one of the most diverse adventures you can have in Western Australia.